Hello everyone, Caren Glasser here, and welcome to this episode of The Passion Point. This is the show where we invite some of the amazing passionistas from around the world who are following their passion, making a living doing what they love. And today is no exception. I'm really excited about our guest that we have on the show, Robert Alexander. Robert is a Los Angeles native. Me too. And we never met. So now that we're meeting up here, it's really kind of cool. You reside in Ventura, California, beautiful area. His company, LifeRhythms, was created to bring a variety of customized products and services to help promote greater well-being in the office and at the home. Who doesn't want that? And through his 15 years of experience in the corporate, nonprofit, and the small business world, Robert has been exposed to circumstances and experiences which have driven him to create a significant impact in the lives of those who truly desire to create a more easeful path and their own overall well-being. He's a member of the Recording Academy. I want to hear all about that. And assisted with music assistants in holistic events, and has dedicated tremendous amounts of time to help others cultivate and evolve their own well-being. He enjoys connecting with like-minded professionals for ongoing business projects. That's how we met, actually, and enjoys being of service in the most honesty, authentic, and transparent way possible. Welcome to the show, Robert. How are you today?
Thank you so much. I'm doing amazing.
I'm so excited to have you here. We chatted about this, God, months ago already, and here we are. Doesn't time go by way too fast? Yeah, way too fast. So, we're going to talk about passion. That's what this show is about. And specifically, we're going to talk about your passion. But what I like to do at the beginning of each show is to give a very basic Webster's Dictionary definition of passion. So Webster says that passion is an intense driving or overmastering feeling or conviction. That's what passion is, according to Webster's. What does Robert say passion is?
Oh, wow. Passion is one of those something you can actually tap into on a regular basis that feels most aligned with our calling in our world. And the minute we're aligned with it, honestly, just the stars are aligned. So for me, it's a level of frequency that really enables you to achieve that potential, sometimes most treasured and desired to oneself.
So we're going to talk about music because that's what you do. Frequency and music, is there a tie-in there?
Oh, absolutely. I think whether if it's, oh my gosh, I love going to the beach to watch sunsets, or if it's linked to professionally, I mean, anything that feels like you can get like an inner smile or something you can really just tap into for a state of just, wow, like this is it. Like I feel this strong essence. So when I think of a strong frequency, I think of an essence that you're just like, yes, oh my gosh, like you're getting a yes.
I love that. I love that definition. That's so descriptive, and I can actually feel it, which is nice because it's not just a few words. So let's just jump right in. Let's talk about your passion. Let's talk about where you came from to where you are today. I don't mean necessarily go back to being in utero, but how did this journey happen? When did you actually identify you had this passion, and how did you jump into it?
Well, funny you mention in utero, because I was actually born 2.5 months early, and I always felt different. So in terms of feeling different in that regards, I knew there was always a passion with me connecting people, even being a kid. Like I remember when I was in elementary school and just, we should do this or we should do that, and just connecting people in that capacity. But being a teenager and growing up and wanting to, volunteer at different events and understand even in the business world when it comes to, networking, because, there's different networking groups out there. They may not be aligned with everybody.
Right.
At the same time, for me, I love connecting people. So I even looked on Google or different job searches at one point for community connectors, and I realized that's an ongoing trend that's continuing to emerge in this day and age. So for myself, I mean, my passion with connecting people, my passion with music, as well as my connections with myself with creativity and just understanding more in that regard. I'm understanding in terms of the power of the passion that I've acquired within myself. It's given me the ability and the desire to connect with other people in a way that works for them. So how my business came to fruition was me understanding, everybody does have their own life and everybody does work with life in a different way. And what does feel passionate, or what do others feel passionate about? And at the same time too, how can I help them discover their passions as well? and also provide a variety of services that help them create that passion even more so.
So let's talk about your music. Let's talk about what you do and how it manifests itself. What is it exactly that you do? What does LifeRhythms do?
Gotcha. In relationship to music, I'm creating customized soundscapes and other types of soundscapes for well-being professionally as well as personally. So for instance, when I'm mentoring others, I wouldn't necessarily call myself a coach. There's more like coaching elements with what I'm doing. At the end of the day, there's a variety of products and services that are available for one's well-being, personally and professionally. So on the personal end, there are elements of coaching that I do use. So one of those elements of music, staying on topic here, is customized affirmations. So I'm actually having a process with an individual. It's a powerful manifestation tool that I'm co-creating with the person that's desiring it. And I'm literally being able to help them in terms of helping them create a state of well-being for themselves.
So let's stop right there. So
Sure.
if I understand correctly, you are taking others or your clients or the people you work with, their affirmations and helping put music to them?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yes, that's one thing. What I'm actually doing is I'm on a phone call with them. So if a person's feeling lost or depressed, or they're just tapped out, or they have too many things going on, they're feeling disorganized, or they're experiencing a death in the family, or a breakup, or just all over the range of emotions. I mean, I'm not here to heal. This is a great tool to be used alongside other modalities. So that's just one aspect of what I'm doing with my business. So I'm able to be on a one-on-one session with them and understand in a vulnerable way what is going on in their world. And I'm recording this. So at the same time too, I'm working through a very vulnerable process with them. It's almost like when you go to a movie and you're experiencing like euphoria of the movie and going, wow, like this is the place. Like I'm really enjoying this movie and this is really great. I'm helping people really tap into their desires. I'm helping them in this case tap into their passions and understanding what feels the most aligned. This is what they're experiencing in this present moment. I'm feeling amazing. I'm making this much money. I'm living in a beautiful house. I'm basically gathering all of this. And so when we're done with our session, it's usually about an hour. I would actually take this information, Caren, and extract it. And I would actually create a customized soundscape for them. So
Wow.
basically, it's not prepackaged. It's not, I would just take like this random like thing that I would use for everybody. It's like actually a customized piece of music for them. And I'm actually, with me being a graphic designer and having a design background, another tool that I'm doing with LifeRhythms is I'm actually creating an anchoring piece. I'm actually creating a visual graphic. So if they need a reminder of what we've co-created together, they could actually take a look at that as well as honing in to their own affirmation.
So when one might use this, might this be used as another way to brand yourself with your thoughts and your music? So if somebody is in a particular field and this is how they're feeling and they meet with you and you have these discussions and then out of it comes this thing, this music
Yes.
with words, it could also, it speaks to them because it's part of who they are. It might actually become part of what they use in their everyday living. Am I understanding that correct?
Oh yeah, this is mainly more of a personalized tool in this regard. I think people, again, it's a very vulnerable piece, so I'm not going to be running around on social media going, hey everyone, here's Caren's affirmation. I mean, it's like, something very sacred and vulnerable for an individual. On the other end, on a smaller side note but somewhat related, I'm actually providing soundscapes for professional use as well too. There's other media streams people can use. I guess in this case, I would be a work for hire, creating customized soundscapes for one's doctor's office or acupuncturist. I was actually working with somebody in Orange County who was working with an eating disorder program, and I actually just wrapped up a meditation for her. Even a coach who I have in Hawaii, I've been working on some of his stuff. So there's a lot of great things.
I can see the value in this, and I've done a little bit of mindfulness training and the whole concept of having that happy space that you go to, and I also understand the importance of music. I'm a musician. I go way back with musicians. Started playing piano when I was 5 years old, so I totally get that music is normally that universal language that speaks to everyone, no matter whether you understand the language or not. It's the music itself that gets
absolutely.
So kudos to you. I think this is so powerful. And I am sure that you've had a lot of wonderful success with this.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. Also, me releasing an album. It's called 21st Century Flow. I personally, in terms of me branding myself as a musician, I figured my role in the music industry, at least being able to be an individual with creating this type of music, I figured my biggest intention is to deliver a sense where people can actually connect with the music that I'm creating, either for them or for the masses. So that's just one aspect of what I'm doing with LifeRhythms, for sure.
Yeah,
And
and
it's very exciting.
yeah, I can see the benefits of both. I can totally see something for personal use when you need to just get into your space and you need to, back up. And I can also see the other aspect of what you're doing, and that is using it as part of your branding. I mean, if this is what really represents you, and I see that there's two different aspects to this, but what you're doing is extremely powerful. So you mentioned
Thank you.
that those are just some of the things you're doing. What else are you doing with your music?
Oh, yeah. So as we know, there's the customized music for like soundscapes as well as customized affirmation work. I've worked with a couple people in terms of coaching. Well, I guess you could say it's coaching, but working with facilitation to help them understand more about their passions and helping them understand their sense of spirituality, because everyone has their own points of views when it comes to that. And for me, I love working with different business owners and individuals that feel like they're beyond the box mentality. It's great to dabble into different aspects of the box. It's almost like I would tell people, it's like going to a deli, or a Jewish deli in this case. Some people might want a corned beef sandwich, and you know what? Well, what if I don't want it tomorrow? Then great, have a salad.
Right.
It's great to see a variety of items you could choose from and know that you're perfectly happy choosing that item. And I'm here to provide a variety of solutions, even as well as
You're a
graphic
smorgasbord.
design.
You're a smorgasbord of
Yes,
solutions. Yes, you are.
definitely. And my biggest intention. Say again?
No, go ahead. Your biggest intention.
My biggest intention, basically, I always love planting seeds of intention versus seeds of expectation. So whenever I'm connecting with people, my biggest intention is to understand how I can be of service and to connect them with other people that I know that are just as reliable as I am to provide an end outcome, which ultimately produces well-being.
I love what you just said, that are as reliable as you are. Do you find, and this is just an opinion, because I'm very happy to express my opinion. Do you find that not everyone is good on their word?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've learned even with my own integrity to keep myself in check, and I'm usually highly accountable for many things. And I'm not sure if it's California. There's a lot of flakiness that's out there. There's definitely a lot of fear that's running around. And I think when I've connected with even design clients, I've been doing graphic design for 15, 16 years and working with web development and, working on that end, even managing projects and, being familiar with the corporate world and most recently even like the startup world and just understanding more about what their needs are. And I think there's a lot of paradigms that are shifting. So there's a lot of people that are saying, well, they're doing it, so I'm going to flake, or maybe they don't know what to think and they don't have that capacity. So I'm coming to the understanding that there's a lot of people that are just hitting those walls and just like, oh,
Yeah.
I get it. Like there must be a change, and I don't know who to trust. So either A, I'm going to put on my best game face and say, hey, I'm going to be on. And the thing is, I'm working with people that are willing to lift the veil. Like they're willing to be a little bit more vulnerable. They're willing to really embody, even if they don't know what to do and they're feeling a little bit stuck and they want to. I'm far from, having a scripted voice. I mean, the way that I'm connecting with you is the way that I'm connecting with other people. And that's my biggest intention. I figure working with people in a vulnerable fashion, if they're willing, there's usually a lot more co-creativity in that regard.
Right. And I love the idea of co-creativity. So let's talk a little bit about some of the challenges you've had along the way how that helps you interact with your clients and the people that come into your life. So I have to assume we've all had challenges, right? I mean, we're not overnight successes, and we didn't just wake up one morning and we were successful. So if you wouldn't mind, be a little vulnerable with us. What are some of the challenges that you have had along the way getting to where you are today, and how does that help you with other people?
Being vulnerable, believe me, I'm an open book. So I'm all about providing that. So it's my pleasure, and I appreciate you asking me. Yeah, there's challenges all the time, like all the time, and they only help me get stronger. I mean, um, I'm realizing where my place is in terms of my intention with working with different business owners, and there's just like anybody else, I've learned from a mentor about capacity, and some people are like this. Not to say they're big, good or bad. Like some people are taking the 101 in LA, and others are taking the 405. So there's that capacity.
Either one scares me. I've been on both.
Yeah.
I'm happy to live in Northern California just because
There
of
we
that.
go. Exactly. And for me, I'm more off peak. There's times where I used to commute to downtown Los Angeles from Ventura. So I would get up at 4 in the morning or 5. And for me, that didn't bother me as long as I wasn't sitting on the brakes. So that's how I choose to live my life. And there's the people with this capacity. They may be afraid to expand. There's some that are willing to, and there's others that are a little bit wider than that. And they're willing to continue to grow in that desire, in that path. So yeah, everything happens for a reason here, and apparently things falling down by doors.
Yeah, it's my dog saying, I want to get in here right now.
And it's all good. The dog's saying,
all good. It's all good.
It is all good.
So let's talk. So the challenges. So have you taken one step forward, 2 steps back? I mean, can you give us an example of what has maybe stopped you and then allowed for a huge growth afterwards?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I realized when there's the most resistance and I stop and realize, whoa, what's going on? I usually start regrouping myself in that regard. But in terms of experiences, I know what it's like to go to networking events, for instance, and they would have you give an elevator pitch. And so I would put it out there. And there's the people that are looking and going, so what exactly do you do? And so lots of times. I mean, even going to NAMM, the North American Music Merchants, that's a huge trade show. And for me, being a newer member of the Recording Academy, I went, and with the intention of going there to meet other like-minded musicians and entrepreneurs that are willing to co-create something together. And it's just a lot of fast-paced energy. So when I've invested myself in many different circles, and a lot of people are looking for that one linear answer that I'm capable of providing, and I start telling them, well, there's quite a bit to what I'm offering, and they look a little bit glazed out.
Right.
It would help one question, in this case to me, like, what am I doing? I mean, of course, it's great to stick with one thing and expand from there. I'm one of those people where I love to provide a well-versed variety of tools to help people, even if I'm planting seeds. So there's times where I would hit depressions, like massive depressions.
Right.
And just be like, wow, you know what? Like, wow, like, what am I doing here? I mean, it just seems like I'm in a world right now, or quite a few worlds, where people, they just don't get it. And the thing is, I realized the more.
So what do you do when you hit that? What do you do? Because this is important for our listeners.
Oh, yeah.
That we all hit it. We all are there. So how do you react? How do you get out of that space?
I am so blessed to be given tools to not only work with myself in this regard. I mean, I've had other people remind me, like, they would ask me left and right, so what are you doing with your music? Like, what have you been up to? Wow, it sounds like you've been doing so many great things. And it's up to me to believe that. So when I tap into myself, I give myself the opportunity to connect with myself in the most vulnerable way. I mean, I teach my clients this with rituals and ways to really help self-celebrate versus self-sabotage. So just really be able to connect inside and allow any of that sadness to come in, or frustration, and just ask it, like, hey, like, what's going on? Like checking in, and be able to give myself that space to hear myself and to really be with myself and to embrace myself, whether if I'm crying or just really feeling angry or frustrated. And I've also heard that movement helps. My girlfriend would be very happy, since she has a yoga business, and she's always telling me, you got to move your body, you got to. And for me, I'm getting better at exercising and taking more time to understand what that's all about, and being better, at least mindful eating and things like that. It's such a huge thing, which I'm learning more and more about and starting to integrate more. So when I start feeling in that area, I start like looking at myself, wondering, okay, what can I do now to really honor myself in these feelings? And what can I do at this present moment to take care of myself? Because it's all based on this present moment anyway.
Right.
And then at the same time too, what can I do to be of service to other people while I'm taking care of myself in the process? So obviously giving to another is a great thing to do. So there's a variety of tools,
Right. So would you say that because you yourself has experienced those times, that makes you innately capable of being able to help others who find themselves in the same situation?
Absolutely. Without a
So what do you
doubt.
tell somebody? What do you tell somebody? You meet somebody at a conference or at a networking meet and greet or at a coffee shop, and somehow the conversation evolves into, oh my gosh, everything I don't even know what my passion is. I just got laid off. I mean, that, from my point of view, a lot of people ended up being entrepreneurs because they were accidental entrepreneurs. It was during a time when this whole industry, at least again, in my opinion, back in 2008, 2009, when you started to see just everybody and their uncle was saying, I'm an entrepreneur, and they were all starting their businesses. And what I came to realize was it was a really nice way to be nice to yourself and not say I was laid off or I was fired or I don't have a job, I'm unemployed. And by saying I'm an entrepreneur, it's taking responsibility for yourself. And maybe or maybe not, you are taking steps to create a life for yourself. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. I think there's the people they may be claiming that they're entrepreneurs and they're not really embodying it. And at the same, I think there's some people that are like still discovering what they're all about, which is great. We're all in a matter of self-discovery and continuing to evolve in that regard. And there's others too that are very much saying, you know what, this is what I want to do. I'm sticking to it. I'm going to do whatever it takes in a healthy way to move forward, regardless of whatever fears are there. I mean, I was laid off at one point.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's how I got into my line of work. I was in a position for almost 20 years. I left the job. I was a religious clergy woman and left the job and then said, oh my gosh, I have not a clue as to what I'm going to do now. Really not a clue. But I think I think being an entrepreneur is probably the hardest job I've ever had. Would you agree?
Yes, definitely. Especially if you have a smaller business. I mean, it's great to tap into the support that you do know, and at the same time too. And I realize, what feels aligned. Like I was talking about that aspect and that spark of passion. So I totally 100% fully agree with you.
So every week I like to invite you to share one of your favorite quotes. I'm going to go first. I have a favorite quote for today. And today's quote is by Travis McAshan. He's an entrepreneur and web strategist. And he says, purpose may point you in the right direction, but it's passion that propels you. Does that ring true for you?
Absolutely. Well said.
Yeah. Well, he said it. I didn't. I stole it. I like to say I R&D'd it. I robbed and duplicated it. So what is one of your favorite quotes? I know that you have a favorite quote.
Actually, I love coming up with quotes on my own. So I have one saying, there are so many forks in the road, you might as well grab a spoon.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. Okay.
You're more than welcome to use it anytime.
I am going to use it. But I will give you credit if I know who writes it. There are so many forks in the road. Might as well use a spoon. I love that.
There's always a way.
Yeah, there is always a way. And that's great. It's like Yogi Berra is it Yogi Berra when you can't, maybe it's not Yogi Berra. Who, when you come to the fork in a road, take it. There's some famous quote about that. I'm not sure what it is.
Gotta love Yogi Berra.
Yeah, I love him too. Oh, I didn't actually know him, but I love him because my husband loves him. Okay, some interesting questions that I just like to ask because it makes for some interesting conversation. So if you could spread passion dust on anyone in the world, who would you spread it on, and what would you hope to accomplish?
Group of people, individual?
Doesn't matter.
I would most likely say the kids that feel like they were less than, like the kids that feel like basically they were picked on because they're the youngest basically. That's where the belief system starts creeping in. I was thinking about my mother as well because I know she's been working so hard, and I figured my intention for her is to continue to thrive in her passions, and that's one person. Honestly, though, the kids, like a variety of kids that would really need it because, I mean, they're able to grow up and realize, you know what? I remember at one point in my life, I was just feeling so less than, and just, I don't know where, I just felt this passion dust all over me. And I realized, wow, I know, I'm meant to be doing something better. I know I'm called to really pay attention to this.
Yeah, very powerful. Very, very powerful. So you are a musician. So this next one, I ask everyone, but it will have a special meaning for you. Is there a particular song that you're passionate about?
Oh, wow. I'm an audiophile.
Yeah, I know.
Hardcore audiophile.
Just pick a couple.
I know. That's just like going to a kid being in a candy store going, okay, you must have one candy. And you're thinking, but mom.
Okay, so let me narrow it down. What are you
Sure.
listening to today?
I am listening more to like ambient minimalist type electronic music.
I love electronic music. Yeah, I
There's
love
a
that.
song by Christopher Willits, who's actually up in the Bay Area. His last name is Willits, and he's amazing. And there's this album that he has called Opening. So any track on the opening album is highly inspiring.
I will
he's doing
definitely
so many
check it
great
out.
things.
For our viewers, I will make a link down below for you to go check out Willits' Opening
Yes.
CD. Awesome, awesome. And one more question: do you have a guilty passion?
Ooh, guilty passion.
A lot of people say chocolate.
90s sketch comedy.
Really?
Yeah, like there's a show on MTV I have called The State, and my girlfriend would look at me and just go, "Babe, you're funny." But I mean, I just get this giddy sense of myself. You know, I love watching sketch comedy like in Living Color, The State.
I love that.
Yeah.
You have fun behind you. You like to have fun. You like to be silly. You like to watch this stuff, and that's great.
Oh,
I think
I'm
that's
much
awesome.
work at heart. My father would be really proud of me. He passed away when I was 10, and he had like the worst sense of humor. And as I love being funny, dorky, quirky, and that's me.
And you know what? I think the message that you send and the message that the Passion Point sends is find what works for you and do it. And do it. And sometimes you don't have to look very far. Sometimes you don't have to look very far. But sometimes you do, and it's worth the time and the energy. Find yourself a mentor or coach to help you find that passion, which leads me to the next thing that I'd like to give you the opportunity. I know that you have an offer for our viewers and an opportunity for people to actually work with you. So what is it that you'd like to share with the viewers right now, how they can connect with you?
Basically, my website is www.liferhythms.us. So LIFERHYTHMS.us. And basically, all you have to do is opt in. And there's an email tab at the up part of my website, basically. You can either go there, or you can even contact me on my contact page and just say that you're listening to this show, regardless of whatever day or time it may be. And what I'll do basically is I will make sure you will get a complimentary track from my album 21st Century Flow, as well as a 1 hour consultation, which I'm able to pretty much understand like what your needs may be and how I can be of service to you.
That's very generous, Robert. Thank you. That's very generous. And I do hope that our viewers, whenever you listen to this, because as we know, digital entities out there are 24/7. They're there forever, evergreen. So who knows, Robert, you might get a call a year and a half from now from somebody who's watching the show saying, well, you said that I could call you and get a track. So don't be surprised if that happens. We have
my offer always stands. It's my pleasure. And any way I can be of service, any way I can help connect other people and find other ways to help them achieve their brilliance with my music, with other services. I just invite all of you to take a look at my website, see what I'm doing. Any questions, observations, excitements, anything in between, please. My pleasure to connect with you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Robert, it's been a delight to have you on the show today. I know that your time is precious, and I really appreciate you being on with us. And we want to thank our viewers, wherever you are, wherever you may be, and whenever you might be watching this. We know that you have a choice as to how to spend your time. And we want to thank you for spending time with us today. So as we say all the time, yes, Robert, thank you, and go out and have an awesome day. And all of our viewers, go out and give somebody an awesome day as well. And we'll see you next time on the next episode of The Passion Point. Goodbye, everyone.